Okay, let me start off by saying something real fast, I am. First off, happy Passat, happy Passover Day for all of my Hebrew Israelites, for all of my ox and my Achites of Zion. Excuse me, okay. On my last video, I talked about everything that was going on with this coronavirus and everything. And people have to realize during the Passover, people were ordered to go to be inside of their homes. Nobody was really supposed to be on the streets. If there was anybody that was in shelters, they were supposed to put them out. But they made a count for each and one of them before they banned them from the um, the homeless shelters and everything or whatever. Like, they just wanted to have a count for them so they can see how many people that they can pick up that's homeless to put them somewhere else. The FEMA camps, duh. Okay, now that's where they're at now. Now that they got everybody off the streets, when the death angel came around, it was looking for the firstborns of every household. And if you didn't have the blood of the Hamashiach, then you were marked. It came for your firstborn. This first one was a test run. This first lockdown, this was a little test run to make it seem like that, oh, the Passover's already came, the Messiah's already came. There's no more nothing else after that. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they go back to where it said in the Bible, where two or more gathered in the field. A field is like, that's land. So, excuse me, where are we at now? We're not in our land of Israel. We're in the land of the heathens, which is America. Everywhere else, they done got them to bow down over there. But the ones that were scattered here, excuse me, the reason that it took too long is because we were stubborn. Hey, we wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what our forefathers did and everything or whatever. That was them. But we don't want to be held responsible for it. See, everything that's happened overseas, that's been the Most High doing that. That's his control. The Hamashiach is in the United States because they got ran out of Egypt and they ran into what's known as the New Egypt. Egypt fell just like Babylon. This is the new Babylon. Everything is new. Now, I want to clear something up, okay, about this in my last video when I was speaking about martial law. Okay, martial law, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's another scare tactic. There is nowhere they're going to be able to have nobody under control. If there was anybody that they were going to have under control, it's going to be the heathens. They're not going to be able to control the house of Israel. You're not going to. We're a nation inside of a nation. We're the strongest nation. You're not. We're the stubborn ones. We're the hard-headed ones. We're the ones that you got to keep throwing charges on. We're the ones that you send this guy, this brother, this Hebrew Israelite brother, or this fake African brother. See, let me go and clear something up now. Everybody worrying about somebody being racist. I'm not even racist. Actually, I am, because we're supposed to be for nobody but the Israel nation. The tribe of Yehuda. Nobody else. Nobody else. It's already bad enough we have to beg them for a place to stay. But now Yahuwah's got them to the point to where we got it back. The 400 years are up. This is our land. Everywhere you're at right now, you're supposed to be there. Whatever house you're in right now, you're supposed to own that. You've been appreciating it too long, getting all these eviction notices, and you still held out, and people wonder how. You had your lights turned off, water cut off, but you still stay there, still riding on faith. See, for these 400 years, you remember that little Footprints in the Sand poem that almost everybody had in their house? This is how you've been going with fake things and how you've been lukewarm, meaning that you've been trying to serve the Most High and you've been serving Satan at the same time, because every one of y'all had that fake homosexual character named Jesus Christ picture in your house. Whether you was white or if you were black. If you were black and you were stuck into this religion, you had the white Jesus. You had his crosses. That was actually representation of a letter T, Tammuz, Nimrod's son. You have to realize something, like now, the ones that was almost coming into it but was still stuck in religion, you went to the black Jesus. When they tell you specifically that the Messiah was Hebrew, there's nothing Hebrew about the word Jesus or Christ. The word Christ came from because they put him in charge like every other God, like the Virgin Mary, Buddha, and all of the whatever, like Krishna, Allah, who has no son. He put them in charge, him in charge of the Christians. So you say, where did this word Jesus come from? The Jesus came from a ship that was bought from the Queen of Elizabeth that had us slaves when they brought us into America. And what was the name of that ship called? It was called Jesus. That name was voted into history because they found someone that said, yeah, you can call me this person's name. He knew everything that the Hamashiach did because he followed him. He stalked him. He sent people around to him to follow him all over the United States. The doctors, teachers, friends, girlfriends, best friends, they all kept up with him even till this day right now. They keep up with him. But they have somebody else doing it for them. Satan has to be in a shadow. See, everything is happening because it has to happen first before the Passover. That's why Satan had a short time. Why you think the coronavirus and everything pushed all of a sudden? Now this lockdown is going to be opened up, but it's going to be put back on lock. But you're not going to be able to get off lock this time because that was a test run. The test run was just them doing it. This time, this is going to be the Most High Yahuwah doing this. Why? Because it's time right now. They're going to take it very seriously. They study let y'all go back to work even when you're supposed to be quarantined just to see who would be a fool to do it. You got some that's losing their job, some left the job, some riding on faith. How? Because they making money some other kind of way. They're not begging for their jobs back because you feel like you just got to make it. They can't even much make you leave your apartment, house, or hotel room, wherever you're at. They can't even evict you right now because you're on state lockdown. They don't want nobody outside whatsoever. They can't even kick you out. They can't even much charge you for your bills or your utilities, nothing like that. You get sick, you can't even go to the hospital. Why? They never had control over a damn bit of this. This is just something that they came up with that's overseas. See, the only land on earth that was like this was Jerusalem, Israel, or to y'all, Israel. When we make it back there, that's why they never wanted us to go back there. They wanted us to go to Africa. Why? If we go to Africa, you got to still work to survive in their land, right? Yeah, that's what happened when we got chased out of Israel first time. We ran to Egypt, to Africa, and we looked at just like them. But they thought we were trying to take over. We wouldn't bow down to them. Some of us bowed down to them. Some of us did. And we had to become like them. So we were proud to call ourselves African Americans. No. They have Africans and they have African Americans. The African Americans are the ones that was in Africa that they ran out and they brought them to the United States established here. You're a black American. You're a Negro. When they call you a nigger, they know, you just don't know. That whole region, people have known about the Middle East, but where did they trick you at when they knew? How come you never, there's a cardinal direction everywhere. South Jersey, West Jersey, North Jersey, East Jersey. But why is there a Middle East, but there's no Middle West, South, or North? See, that's where nobody's never even brought that up whatsoever. All these videos y'all making, these books and everything, nobody never want to speak the truth because you're scared. A true Hebrew Israelite is not created with fear. Y'all were born with fear. That's why you're so eager to it. Okay. If you were born into every bit of this. See, in Israel, we don't pay for nothing because it's ours. If you're working at a grocery store, you go to the grocery store and you get you something to eat. You don't have to pay for nothing. Why? Because you needed that. That's already ordained to you. That's owed to you from the Most High Yah when He created you. But they didn't want that. They said, wait a minute, how come this only place, this only land, they don't have to do nothing because that's a set apart, chosen place out of everywhere in the world that He chose to put His people, His mark at, His hand at. He made a covenant with Jerusalem. Yisrael. He made a covenant with us. And He said not to bow down to them. So you have some that people say that they crazy or whatever because they don't want to pay no bills or nothing or whatever, or they don't want to work because we don't work, shawty. We don't work. We own. We're bosses. Y'all are workers. You doing all this working and everything and whatever, but you're going to still be here doing that. Why? Because the ones that's not working, even the ones that's getting like government checks, that's money. That's holdout money to hold you. Why? Because that ain't even a little bit. You got less than what everybody else got. But He said we're in the times now where the rich will be poor and the poor will be rich. Why? Because the rich is the ones that's working, that's got money coming in. They're finna be poor. How? Because they're losing their job. The poor is becoming rich. How? Because all the little income that they were appreciated with and everything, they still got that. That's not finna be taken out. No, they finna have way more than you. You're going to need them to survive. Trust me. But you're not going to be able to use them. You're not going to be able to use them. You can't do nothing. We're not in the third dimension no more. That's the earthly realm. We're in the fifth dimension. That's the fifth realm. That's why they wanted to push 5G. The flesh cannot overconquer the spirit. When the 400 years was here, that was the flesh going through all that hell and hot water torment and all that torture. The 400 years has ended. This is a spiritual war. That means that no flesh on earth, nobody that's spiritual would not be able to see this. People were so confused and everything, like a double-headed quarter where you were in the church. You consider yourself religion, no matter what umbrella you're under. You consider yourself religion, but you didn't even know that you say that you spiritual. You catching the Holy Ghost. No, you're not catching no Holy Ghost, no Holy Spirit. You're catching the Ruach. You're catching the Ruach if you're spiritual. That's the Ruach HaKodesh. You're catching the spirit from the Most High Yah, yeah. But if you're religious, you're catching the Kundalini spirit. That's of Satan. You're not catching that. Because we don't have to, y'all are focused on money. You run your church by money. I'm speaking the truth right now. I'm preaching right now. I am the church. The word does not cost nothing, no matter what it is, even if you ask for donations. No. And then you try to refer back to scriptures where they were talking about donations. They never said nothing about money. They gave silver, they gave gold, they gave crop, they gave cattle. You're paying tithes, you're supporting your pastors and everything. Nobody's supposed to have a title for one. But you can stay in the church because the ones that He said, we're in the end time of the world, there's going to be some that are going to be totally repent, but they're not going to. That's the ones still stuck in religion. He don't care about you. He don't care about you. He's not worried about that. He said every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess, no matter what religion you are. Your religion is fake. But you get mad because this is something that you grow on. Everything that's seen is temporary. You've never seen nobody walking down the road and you just say that that person is just smart or very intelligent, got a lot of knowledge. No, they have to do something. They have to open their mouth for you to see it. You don't believe nothing. Then even when you see the truth, you still don't believe it. Even if it's right in front of your face, you still don't believe it. You have a problem with that. And that's sad to say as a nation. But you have some to where when you keep hearing somebody and you want to say something to them and they keep talking over you and everything, whatever, because they instead of trying to push you back sleep, they're trying to, but we're listening to you we hear you out of respect, but we don't have to listen to you. That's two different processes. Hearing and listening is two different processes. I can look at whatever I want, but I ain't got to see it. So I'm going to say this. We're not worried about, we're in the times to where, okay, they try to kill people off with disease and everything when the last Holocaust came. Whatever, with the little, this is a scare tactic. Now, we know that the real thing is coming because the next time that you be in quarantine to where you better be inside is supposed to be the times right now. during this Passover. You're supposed to be inside, because that's when the death angel goes around. The fake death angel was the coronavirus. This one is going to hit, because the coronavirus was set for the heathens. The death angel, that's for the house of Yisrael, because he said judgment begins at the house of Yisrael. He's coming for us first, to judge us first. See, a lot of y'all, that when we make the videos, when you hate what we saying, it's because it's the truth. So you give us a thumbs down. But you got to realize, we don't care when we make these videos. It's not for your satisfaction. It's not even for YouTube satisfaction. That way they can take it out if they want to. The word has already got out there. I don't care. Somebody's done already dubbed this. Somebody's done already downloaded it. So it doesn't matter. When you see the word views and everything, yes, it can even be the enemy. It can be a gang stalker. It can even be the fallen angels that's watching this video. It's not them doing it. Their flesh, their spirit made that flesh sit down and look and listen to these words. Why? Why are people doing things that they want to do? When they speak it, it comes to pass, and there's people that don't want to do nothing. You have no control, and you're doing fucked up shit, or you're doing something that bless somebody when you... It's like you have no control over your life no more, because this is a spiritual war. The spirit done gave the flesh so many chances to do whatever it want to do. Now it has no choice. It's its turn to step up. Every spirit in us is a spirit of somebody from the end times before. This is just a second death. This is the prophecy. The prophecy is that, see, when they say that angels in heaven don't even know when God's coming back, one, there is no God. You call your Savior, your Creator, God, but you don't even know His name. Every God has a name. When you wear Nikes, you are actually worshiping the God Nike. There's a God named Nike. When you're wearing